Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to be converting some regular JPEG and PNG images into vectors, specifically SVG or even EPS. But also, I'm going to show you how to actually edit and transform these images, changing different colors and editing them in different ways. So if you're ready for this video, let's go ahead and get started. I'm using Canva just to show you some different images that we're going to turn into SVG style images. So here are 4 images that I'm going to upload. You could tell that they're completely photos. You can see when I switch the color of the background, it is completely an actual image, the same way this image is, and the same way this image is, and this one. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to be, like I said, converting these images, these JPEGs and PNGs, into SVG vector images. And the reason why I actually think this is a pretty cool thing to try to do is so that you can actually convert colors of different characters and different images. And I'll explain what I mean. For me, every single element or image can be used as an element for a specific design or a specific product that we're putting together. And the cool thing about this is that when you work on certain designs like these, you can even sell them on Etsy, you can sell them on Redbubble, you can create your own website and sell them there. You could even sell the graphics separately. And speaking of these graphics, these are all graphics pulled out of fantasylabs.com. As you guys know, all the different elements that I've been creating and using for my print-on-demand stores, I'm giving you guys access to it on Fantasy Labs. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue our work here. So we have these images in a folder, and you can see here, this is the folder, and the folder has JPEGs, and yeah, they're all JPEGs. I thought one PNG, but they're all JPEGs. And they don't have to be JPEGs. They just have to be images. So the PNG, JPEG, whatever, we're going to be using that today. There's a software here that is currently in beta called Vectorizer AI Beta. I guess they have some... It's a free software currently. And first of all, forewarned is forearmed. It's currently free. I apologize if it eventually ends up costing people money. In the future, we'll try to figure out some other solution if it costs people money that is free. But this is a free tool currently, and we can basically take our JPEG images and drag them in here. Now, I'm going to do one at a time just to kind of show you how this works, and I'm going to use this apple first. And the cool thing about this apple is it's a large image, 2700 pixels. It's unique, it's cool, it's clever. Let's go ahead and maybe crop it down just a little bit, right? Because I don't need all this background to it. And just for a little reference, when you convert something into a vector, it will slightly make things less pixelated. It will clean up the image. It will make it look more uniform, all right? And so it might change the way things look a little bit. You notice here, the pixelation of certain things, and you can kind of tell right here, right? Like so I'm zoomed in. This is the right hand side. Look how that's just a clean line, and then over here that's a pixelated line. This is also, by the way, another way that you can upscale an image technically. When you convert it into a vector, it becomes much more clean, and then you could take that new SVG, right, multiply it in size, and then convert it into an image again if it just so happens that your software, your print-on-demand software, whatever software you're trying to use this for, does not convert things into, doesn't work with SVG files. So the image is where it's at here. It's not a bad image. Let's go ahead and now hit download. And we're downloading the image of now in an SVG format. Now, something I want to outline here is that I can download it in SVG and also an EPS. An EPS file is also a vector file, right? So check with whatever print-on-demand business company you're using to fulfill your products. Maybe you're not even into print-on-demand. Maybe you happen to search this video and find out about it. We personally teach print-on-demand here. We show you different things. And I'll be using SVG 1.1. I can make a difference in the future describing the differences between SVG 1.0, 1.1, Tiny 1.2. We could talk about that in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and stick with SVG. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit download on the image. Now, the image is now in SVG format. So if I try to open it up, it's going to look like this, right? Now, we can't really tell if it's an SVG. So let's go ahead and open up Inkscape. Inkscape is a free software that we can go ahead and use. I'm going to click New Document here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my downloads and locate that exact file. Not the JPEG, but the exact file. And it's this one. I'm going to take it and paste it right here. And now that I have this, let me go ahead and click. We have here a notification that says how we would like to input our SVG file. And so here we have the import style of include SVG image as an editable project or projects in a current file. Add an SVG as a new page in a current file. Embed the SVG file in an image tag, non-editable in this document. Link the SVG file in the image, or open the SVG image as a separate document. In this case, I'm going to go with the first option. I'm going to hit OK, and now we have the image. So we're going to test now if the image is truly an SVG. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of this, right? And just a little bit. And now what I could do is I can actually take my mouse, click and hold, and hover over the whole entire thing. And you can see here, there are different elements that are boxed in. And I'll go ahead and zoom in to kind of show you what I'm talking about. You can see here, like this white element is covered around with a box. This white element is also boxed in. The teeth of the character of the apple are also boxed. What that means is they're controllable. So I can go to the image. Let's go ahead and click on our mouse here. And let's go ahead and ungroup this. So I'll go over here and exit group. And I can select a specific element in this case by double clicking, right? So double click like this. I can select this element. And if I wanted to, I actually could turn it into a different color element. Now, I personally don't want to, but notice how when I take my mouse and I hover over these specific elements, right, there's like this outline to them, right? So, like for example, I take my mouse here, I click, and this is the green that I'm clicking, the core green color of the character. That is a clickable element, right? So that's something to be aware of and something that I can do. And so you can see here now how this is truly an SVG vector file. And once again, I've said this before, but vectors are good because they're cleaner looking, and they're also you can edit the color. So what you could do is theoretically you could duplicate your product maybe about four or five times and create different color variations of the product, and then put the product up for sale on Etsy, for example, as stickers, or maybe as a graphic, or even create different t-shirts or something like that. Save these elements for the future and then go and create different t-shirts and designs with these kind of things. So let's go ahead and expand this kind of horizon a little bit by looking into things a different way. Let me go ahead and show you. So I have this image, right? I also have this image. There might be some things that I don't want to be included in my vector image. All right, so let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So this image right here, let's go ahead and remove this black background. And this is an image of like two cherry character type things, right? And once again, it is also on Fantasy Labs. So you can go ahead, if you got Fantasy Labs a certain month, you can get access to this. Let's go ahead and hit edit photo and then background remove here. Okay, when we hit background remove, I'm not trying to really get it transparent. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to clean out certain elements that I might not want in my file image. So you see all these little black dots. I personally might not want these. So I might go here and I might remove these, right? When the image was created, it might have had some sort of effect that was supposed to go into play, but maybe I don't want these kind of like little black dots. So I can go ahead and do that, and I can improve the image in that kind of way. Do you see what I'm saying here? So I'm removing certain characteristics of the image as best as I can. Let's go ahead and zoom out and just do a quick overview. You know, I'm just zooming in, looking at some different things, okay? And just focusing on where I can kind of fix the image in certain parts, and I can erase it. And by the way, if you do erase a little bit too much of the image, that's perfectly fine, because our goal here is not to have a transparent photo, right? It's to turn this image into an SVG. And we could worry about transparency later when it becomes into an SVG. So now that the image is taken care of, I can go over here and hit download. Let's just download this a little bit at a smaller file. And let's go and select it, page 2, and download it. And notice here, I never click transparent because it doesn't really matter to me. It's not something that's important here. I can take the same image and I could go over here to the software and I can drag this and drop it. And then I'm going to click OK. But now notice, yes, it has the white background, no big deal, but it doesn't have those dots that I didn't want earlier, right? And maybe when I actually edit this, I would want to change the tone of the green and I want to change the tone of the red. It's a possibility. So what I'm going to do here is the image, as you could see, much cleaner looking, much less pixelated, excuse me. And on a small level, it does change the way that the image looks, and you can kind of tell between the two views here. So I'm going to go ahead and click download now, all right? And I'm just going to leave everything the same, and I'm just going to hit download, okay? And now that this is download, let's go ahead and open Inkscape, and I'm going to upload the image to Inkscape here, all right? So I'm going to upload it, and it says I have these different options. In this case, I'm going to add the SVG as a new page in the current file. So I'm going to click OK, and I have it as a new page. So check this out. This is a new page. And if you see here, look, I can still highlight all these different elements in the design, right? So I've got click here, I can click here. There's so many things I can do, and I could change the way certain colors are. So for example, if I want to change the color of this, I go over here and find the bucket fill image, or the bucket fill tool, excuse me, which is this tool right here. And I can bucket fill certain parts of the image. Now, I actually don't want it to be this dark green color, but that's an example, right? If I want to change the color, I go over here to the top, right? And I have this color wheel, I guess you could say, on the bottom of different examples of colors, right? So let's say I wanted to use this, let's go for a different color. Let's go for this like red color right here. And if I want to use this red color, boom, I could use the red color. And look how it changes the image. It really does make it come to life a little bit more. And you see how this is a little like shadow, like it's a darker kind of shadow. I can go here in Inkscape because this has like almost like a color wheel kind of approach. And I can take a look at some of these images and I can see how it looks, right, in comparison. And I could also do the same thing here. So I can take the color fill image right here, or the color fill tool rather, and fill this section and just kind of shift the different colors and see what they look like when the colors are shifted. So I can click here the same thing, and I could do kind of all this kind of stuff. So you guys kind of see the difference there as to what's going on and how I'm setting this up. And indeed, it does shift to the way that the image looks. So we went from, let me go ahead and zoom out, this style image, right? Or we went from, let's see what it used to be, right? So let's pull it up here. Let me just drag this SVG here, or cancel this rather. It went from this color, right? Let me see if I could, let's go ahead and do this here. This color SVG, or this color image, to this color. It allows me to control, like I said, the vibrance of the image. And at the end of the day, all these different elements, all these different features, everything you're watching are different tools for me to create a better end product in terms of the design aspect. And remember, no matter where you're posting your designs, whether it be Redbubble, whether it be Zazzle, whether it be Etsy, whether it be your own website, the design is one aspect of success. Not the whole entire thing, but simply one aspect. So it's your responsibility to understand the different things that you have to kind of work on that platform. It might be tags, it might be titles, it might be everything included. It might be creating categories, it might be doing many different things to kind of maximize your value in that industry, in that specific marketplace. And if I could do it, you guys could do it too. It's not that hard. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And if you want to see more tutorials on a specific topic, feel free. Leave some suggestions down below. You know, let me know in the comments. I'll leave some resources in the links in the description and in the pinned comment below. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye.